Hello friends! Welcome to Squared Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be doing a flip through of all of my October after the pen spreads here in my catch-all Frankenplanner. I'll be showing you guys all of my completed spreads for October in 4 out of the 5 planners that I keep in here, along with showing you guys some of my planner setup and answering any questions that come up as we go that you can drop into the chat, and hopefully just get that sorted out as we go. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to jump on, and also too, if you have time, go ahead and check the chat and drop any questions you may have. Also just say hello, hi, and again, thanks for joining me today on this Sunday. Now I know for most of my American watchers or viewers that you guys are dealing with the time change as well as me, so the light may be a little bit different. I've tried to compensate, but hopefully we'll have enough light to get through this without it being too dark. But if any of you are on the chat as we go, please let me know if it gets too dark to see and I can bump up the brightness a bit on the video. And let me just make sure I can see the chat and see if there's anybody coming in. Hi, you guys. I see a few of you guys joining in now, saying hello, dropping in your name and where you're tuning in from. So glad you guys could come and join me. Let's see. Oh, awesome. I'm so happy. I'm sorry, I'm reading them and not reading them out loud, but somebody was commenting on my long nails in a previous video. They're not real long right now, but they're okay. They're in between. They're actually kind of funny because my husband has been kind of bulking up our turmeric because I have a lot of chronic issues, but it's now all over my fingers and they're kind of like yellowy. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have yellow hands on screen. Hopefully it doesn't spread to the paper. But I've washed them a couple times and they still kind of have a yellow tinge to them. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. If you guys have any tips on getting turmeric out of your hands or off your skin, please let me know. And clothes too, because it's starting to spread all over the house. It's like a disease. So anyway, just a little tidbit about what's going on with me. Okay, hi, I see, yeah, like a few of you have dropped in. Thank you again for joining me. Let's go ahead and get started. I did do a video not too long ago, kind of going over my planner sections. So if you haven't seen that, I would recommend checking that out, especially if you want to know more about my tabbing system and my dividers that you're going to see in this planner. But we'll just jump right in, get to kind of the meat and potatoes, but I'll do a brief overview of some of my planner setup as well, just in case you're unfamiliar. Oh wow, we have somebody tuning in from Angola, wow, and from Paris in France. Oh wow, that's really cool. Australia, I got some cool international viewers today. That's really nice. I'm curious to know what time it is over there. Hopefully, you know, this time frame doesn't work for everybody here in the United States. It's kind of a mid-afternoon or kind of late evening, depending on what coast you're on. So I'm curious to know where you guys are tuning in from, what time of day it is for you, if you're international. Okay, so anyway, let's jump in. So first off, let's talk about just kind of like my overall vibe here. I've got a big, giant Frankenplanner here with some 1.75 inch rings. These are Happy Planner expander rings, and I like to do a seasonal theme, so this theme is pretty much customized for fall, the season that we're in. I did this cover, I DIY'd it from a Canva template last year. I didn't give it away for free or anything because it was from Canva, but I do show you how to DIY your own covers. That's in my fall refresh video in case you're curious. But yeah, so that's where this cover came from. So I designed that with Canva, basically using one of their templates. I also have my pen loop and pen right on the cover. The pens that I tend to really prefer are friction pens. So I have one that's just a black friction pen and a 0.5 tip. And then I have a 4-color one in the back, which you'll see in a bit. And if there's anything, again, you guys want to know more about, if you have the ability, drop in the chat. Otherwise, just leave a comment after the video, and I'll be happy to try and answer any questions you may have. So anyway, I've got my sticky dash here, kind of fall refreshed and seasonal. I also have my main sections of my planner. I have an inbox section here at the front with these fall dashboards that I created, which are actually in my shop. They're editable or edible. Editable, I guess would be the right way to say it. So you can put in whatever customizations you want for the name for each. So those are in my Etsy shop. Again, check the description below if you want a little bit more about that. But yeah, so those are there. I have my inbox, my goals, productivity, and the place we're going to be living in today, my schedule section. So at the very front of my schedule section, we have the future log, which I did do a setup on in the very beginning of the year, and go through kind of like my color coding system and how I use this to kind of future plan in a Frankenplanner like this, where I'm only keeping 1 to 2 months at a time in there. So really good video if you kind of just want to know how I'm using this. So I have that, and then we are going to jump to the first planner we'll be going through today, which is my faith planner. Make sure everything's all centered up, check the chat real quick, see if there's any other questions that have come through, but it all looks pretty good. And okay, let's go ahead and start with my faith section. So I've been using my own printables for pretty much all of the planners that you're going to see in here at this point. This one is going to be the Quadrant layout from my shop. It's a combined planner with a monthly layout. I'm also added in a a faith overview, which is a standalone item that's available in my shop as well. So the very first part here is going to be my month overview. And the way that I like to do my faith planning is I do like a theme for the entire month at a time. So every page in my faith planner will have the same color scheme, the same kind of theme. So I set it all up at once in one Plan With Me video. It just takes it, that off my mind as far as having to set it up each week. It's all done and ready to go all at once, which I really love. And I like to have things kind of themed out. I use my monthly for doing what I call the takeaway. I have an app that I use every day called YouVersion Bible app, and it's on my phone. On there, I go through every year the Bible in a year. So I do the passage reading, and then I try to get a little summary or something that I can take away from the reading for the day to kind of apply to my life. So that's what I do in these little monthly boxes, and then I also put the verses that were part of that Bible reading plan in that box as well. So that's how I use it. I had a couple of days that I actually missed this month. Decided to just drop some stickers on it so it wasn't so blank and white there. But overall, it was a pretty good month. I really enjoy this part of it. It's a little bit more pulled back than a full page of journaling when you do Bible study or Bible reading, which is just my speed because I have a lot going on, which you'll see. Sorry, I have to cough. Anyway, next we have my faith overview spread. So this again is a standalone item in my shop. I created this partly for the flow of my planner, which I talk a lot about in that video I talked about earlier with the planner organization. So each of my planners will have a page like this right after the monthly. So this one is my faith-based one, and again, available in my shop. I track habits, so I have my morning prayer, my daily reading, which is part of that Bible in a Year plan, the lettering, which you're going to see in the weeklies, and then the summary, which is this little takeaway area. So I just track how I did, and that's just a nice way to see at a glance if I missed any days or if there was any issues that I missed for some reason, or if I did well, I guess. So I do that. I have a little spot here for prayer lists, so I kind of keep my for others prayers up here, and then things that are specific mainly for me and or my husband, I try to put them here. So I have that, and then on this side it's a nice big open grid area, so I set this up for a monthly verse. And I haven't been able to do this on camera. I do try to set it up before the month begins, but as I do the Plan With Me, I haven't been able to really fit this part in at that point. So this might be the first time you're seeing this, but I just hand letter it in, similar to what you're going to see following in the weeklies. And then at the bottom, there's a little section here for reflection. So I kind of fill in how I'm doing for the month spiritually, kind of like check in questions here to get you started. So anyway, that's all set up in there. And then we've got my weekly overviews in my quadrant layout. So like I said, I use this for lettering. I started this, if you're unfamiliar with my channel, I started this a couple of years ago. And honestly, I really wasn't doing more than just a simple monoline lettering, something maybe similar to this, where it's just like a thin line, no brush strokes, and just working on my cursive. And I progressed to being able to do more brush lettering and trying all the different things, as you can see here, giving some variety to the verses. These verses are fed into the app. The verse of the day just comes straight into that same app I do my Bible reading, so it's nice and contained that way. I also try to pull colors from the theme, so I have a bunch of different styles of pens that I use. This month I used these pens, which I was really excited to break out. I recently purchased these in my late summer haul that I did. I think these ones came from Amazon, and they're from Right Tech. They're sign brush pens, which are very similar to Fudenosuke brush pens. So they have like a fine tip, but you can do brush strokes with them. So I really wanted to test these out, so I did a little bit of that in here, which you'll see with these pens, along with, I think I added some matching, I matched up some of these Primrosia fine tip brush pens as well that have both a brush tip, which is a little bit too soft for this fine lettering, but can be used. And then it has a nice skinny point fine liner tip. So I used these in conjunction, the brown with the yellow, and then these, and they were pretty close in color. So I have those there. And then of course I always use a Fudenosuke brush hard tip pen. That's for any of the black brush lettering. And then I also use a Pigma Micron fine liner as well for the black fine lining. Okay, that was a lot. So anyway, here's the first spread. And then here was the second spread. Again, I really try to interpret the verse the best I can. So I read it and I try to pull out certain words or maybe some imagery that matches up and try to doodle that in if it makes sense. And so you can see the variations, and I just try to mix it up. I don't want it to look the same day after day. I do have a video on how I letter if you want to know more about that, and I kind of describe my process and how I built up to this point. And next we have the following week, and basically it's more of the same. Not really much more to talk about, but yeah, I really liked how this one came out. I do really like the kind of more condensed but vertical quotes a lot. When they're small enough, the verse that's fed in, I do like to do that, or like in circles. I wonder if I did a circle one yet. That one's kind of a circle one, but not really. But I do like to do like circular shapes as well. That's kind of fun. Oh, here's one. And then here's the next week. I think this might be the last one. Yeah, this is the last one. And again, just try some different things. Some days I'm really feeling it. Some days I'm not. So some come out better than others, but that's okay. You know, I just like to try things. It's a very free space. You know what I mean? I try not to put too much pressure on myself to make it perfect. And then there's this back page that I just have not been using this year, but I do like to have it themed. So it's in there all themed out with the rest of the pages and ready to be moved out into its own separate planner. So the process is that I basically take a full month out and bring a full month in, and the other months stay here. Let's see if I can get this all to fit on camera. Stay here in its own planner. So this is my faith planner for 2023, and it's got January through, well, now October all completed. And of course, I will do a flip through of this entire thing in January once it's complete. Now, let me move this out of the way. And I already have November in, so we're all good to go. Tabs are in place. We will jump ahead to the next planner, which is my health planner. Make sure everything's recentered. Okay. So again, another insert from my shop. We've got the horizontal layout for my weeklies along with this monthly layout. This I've been using, sorry, not horizontal, we're in health, so it's going to be aligned vertical. But for the monthly, it's just a basic monthly layout. I've been using it this year kind of, I mean, more recently for the fasting, but I've been using this in various ways this year. I do like to add a little snippet about how I'm feeling health-wise, because I have all these chronic allergies and asthma and other issues. So I do like to keep track and just kind of see what might be affecting me throughout the day, or if something kind of correlates weather-wise or food-wise. I try to note that. Also too, for the monthlies, I've been using these for tracking my fasting hours since I think maybe like April or May. Really like that, although I think I'm going to rethink this process as far as how I'm tracking it in my planner for 2024. But for now, this is working out pretty good. I track when I stop fasting or start fasting, and then when I stop fasting, I guess. The opposite of what I just said, maybe. But the hours where I am in a fast, and that's when I put that here. And then, so some of the days kind of flip. So here's where I broke my fast, and here's where I start my fast, and broke it, start, like that. So anyway, long story short, fasting hours. And also too, anything highlighted in purple this month were workouts. Some of them weren't real strong workouts, but I noted them. And then the overall theme, I do like to theme the monthly pages in the same theme, but I just throw down stickers for my health because it's just a bit much to keep track of all of these different planners. So I'm a little more lax with this. I just went with a purple theme. I had all these purple pumpkins and just threw them on the page and said, let's do it. So I did. Let's see. Oh, I just saw the chat. Looks like there was a very nice comment there about bringing somebody joy through their chemo treatment. I'm so happy that I could, bring you joy at this time. That's a really hard thing to go through. So prayers for your health and well-being. One thing I want to talk about too, I added this little schedule because I'm really trying to get back into regular workouts. I work from home and I really don't have a lot of reasons to go out of the house unless I force it. So I really have struggled over the last couple of years to get into a regular routine that I've kept up. So I'm trying to, schedule it, keep it consistent. It's been a challenge, obviously. As you can see, the month did not go as planned, but it does help to have fitness buddies. So when that works out, it's helpful to get me out of the house, get some fresh air, walk, exercise with friends, and get to, catch up with them as well. So I really do like that, but just trying to do things on my own, I find it lacking motivation most of the time. So I'm trying to do better and get like a schedule down. So hopefully I can soon get this better. Next we have my overview for health. So this is the health overview spread. This one is definitely more geared towards health. There's a little section up here for health goals, which I just do some basic goals that I want to try to focus in on for the month. There's obviously a habit tracker section, so I track my steps. What I'm trying to do is get at least 7,000 steps a day, which as you can see is very challenging for me. Closing my rings, another challenge. Bonus points, which I'll talk about that in a second, but that's something fairly new to my planner, which I'm enjoying. And then working out 30 minutes or more. The bonus points. This was an idea from one of my subscribers who talked about tracking small wins when you were trying to build momentum in your workout plan. And I just thought that was a really good idea. I kind of took that idea and modified a little bit for my own, calling it bonus points, and then included anything that was also related to my nutrition, health, anything that I would count as a small win for my health and fitness. So I kind of made it a list of things I would count as bonus points. And when I do that, I keep track of it on the weekly, and then I also mark it off here in the health or the habit tracker. Another thing I saw that I thought was a really good idea but didn't quite have it pan out this month was getting an overall monthly view of my average calorie intake, as well as my average macros and average days of the week that I exercised. I saw this on a video from, I think, a bullet journaler, and I just thought that was a really good idea. However, I only really input maybe 2.5 weeks worth of meals last month. So the averages aren't really accurate because there would be like a whole week that didn't track and that would be counted as 0. So it really threw off my calorie count as far as my averages. Sorry again. But if I can keep consistent, I just think this would be really valuable information too. Since I am fasting, just trying to get an idea of how many calories I'm putting in. That's why I started tracking this month, and I really did think that that was really useful and interesting to see how much I was eating, since I wasn't really focused in on that when I started my 1 meal a day fasting, process. So yeah, I was really surprised in some of the stuff that I was eating, like how many calories I was eating in just 1 meal. So you never know. You never know how much you're ingesting until you really write it down and see the numbers. But anyway, so I do want to continue this. Hopefully I'll be able to be more consistent, but I might just kind of table this for 2024, because right now in the holidays, it's just more stress to kind of put on myself to, it's probably better I just let it go and work on it for 2024 when I start fresh and new. Over here on this side of the page, we have the monthly stats chart here, which I fill in from my Apple Watch. I have my monthly totals, daily averages, and then if it was up or down from the previous month. And then behind the black Post-it notes is my weight, starting weight for the month, and my measurements. So that will just keep behind those closed doors, if you will. And then over here, what I've been using this kind of lined open section for is just like a health goals check-in. And I just have a few prompts here. How was I successful? What didn't go well? What can I do differently? What motivates me? How do I feel? And what will I focus on in November? So next we have the weeklies, and these are lined top box layouts from my shop. And I've added in a hydration tracker just so that I don't have to worry about putting down a sticker for that every week. So I have that in there, and that was like a customization to the lined vertical. This spread in particular I designed, I think, off camera, and I just wanted something a little bit of a break, something bright and fun, to kind of take away from some of the fall spreads I was doing. I was deep in the fall spreads at the time and really wanted something different. So I just grabbed a couple of stickers. I think these are mostly all Happy Planner stickers, plus some stat stickers I made on my computer and dropped those in. I track my workouts, stats, daily stats, my food log, and then this week and a few other weeks, my calories and macros. Also too, if I had a bonus, what do I call this? Bonus points. I put that in on the day where that happens. So this was the first week. And then this one was the second week. I did do a plan with me on this. I decided not to put anything in the boxes if I didn't work out, so I only highlighted the workouts. It was a lot more stark, because usually I like to do like a no workout notation, and then usually why I didn't work out. But this week I just decided to leave it blank, and although it looks good, it's just kind of like, ooh, I don't know, that empty space is calling to me like, oh no, why didn't I work out those days? So I do like to have it feel full and filled in if I don't work out. But we tried this. This came out pretty good. I really liked the theme, kind of like a fall foresty, fall hills theme. And there was a plan with me on this if you want to see more about that. Let's see, I see one in the chat. Let's see. Let's see, somebody was saying that, how do I remain engaged and inspired to utilize my health planner inserts? Okay, so part of health planning for me is, even though I have not been very successful with my health the last few years, confronting why I'm not successful, I feel is still valuable to me. So having the stats there, having, you know, just a list of all the things I ate, if I just went crazy and ate all the things, I can see it there in a list. And it's like writing it in, part of that is me saying, okay, I made those choices. So that is part of the reason why I continue to health plan, even though my goals of, you know, losing weight and getting fit aren't quite going how I planned. I feel like having this and confronting why keeps me honest or true to myself, and to know, you know, I'm not making excuses for why things aren't working, if that makes sense. So that's part of what I think helps keep me engaged in health planning. Also too, obviously decorating and making the spread feel inviting to be in, wanting to be in the spread versus just, you know, if it's something that I don't really like the look of, I don't like, to be honest, once I did this purple theme, I was like, no, I really don't like it. I was like, this is too much purple. But I mean, it was done, but if it was a different kind of scheme, I think I would have been more excited to be in this spread, and even in these spreads here as well. So just having something that you want to be in, want to engage in and look at, I feel like helps a lot. Hopefully that kind of helped answer your question. I'm always trying to better my health and fitness in any way I can, and even though I'm tired a lot and I have all these health issues that, you know, give me a lot of fatigue and headaches and things like that, I try not to give up. So anything you can do to, you know, keep you inspired and engaged in your own way, I think is beneficial. And this does it for me. So having the decorated spreads is one of the things, and having the planner itself really helps me. Back to this actual spread, this was one of my favorites for, you know, basically the whole season, maybe even the whole year, which was a surprise because these were stickers from an Amazon like die cut pack that I got, and they're mushrooms, which I like mushroom, you know, the botanicals and the old school look of them, but it's not something that I'm usually very excited about. But I think it just really turned out nicely with the combination of the color scheme, and I don't know, I was very happy with it. But I'm basically tracking all the same things, as you can see, workouts and stats. And this one I just tracked my calories here, left the macros in the app that I use to do the calorie counting, which is MyFitnessPal. And yeah, so this was a really good one. I really loved being in this, and I was really sad to move on to the next spread. So this was the final week, and actually this was a really good spread as well. But I don't know, this one really was my favorite. I did some mixed media on this one, so I did some like inking and some blending in the background, then added in the stickers, and this one turned out really fun too. I like a good collage, or not really collage, but like, you know, like a wallpaper of various items in the background. I like that look a lot, so this one turned out really nice. Oops. And it's really full, my planner right now, so the pages keep catching on things, so I have to be careful. And then finally we have my meds and supplements section, or like chart. So I've added this to the back of all of my health months, and basically it's just my habit tracker converted into a meds and supplements title, but it's basically the same thing. It's just a basic habit tracker for the month. Here I track all of the like prescription meds, the supplements I take, the various things, as well as my symptoms throughout the month. Just try to note all the major symptoms that I have pretty regularly and see if there's any kind of correlation again to anything that I'm taking or weather or food, all that good stuff. So that's my health planner. I'll go ahead and move that out into its planner now. So this is my health planner, which is very well coordinated this month, as you can see. And we will drop in the month of October. Oops. And now we're back to the main planner here. So I have November moved in, and I have all my tabs moved in as well. I have one item that kind of stays in this section, which is a perpetual calendar. I just bookmark it here to the health meds tab, which is guides me to this. And on the back of it, I keep track of my weight daily as well as my daily steps. So again, I won't share that since we're still working on that. But we're on to my next planner, which is my daily planner, a horizontal planner, along with a few other monthly and overview pages. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. The first, of course, is the month overview. And here I've been using this spread for the last couple months for my memory keeping. Hold on a second. Oh goodness, my throat's all dry right now. So yeah, for memory keeping, I just do, it was supposed to be like a memory a day, but I can never just stick with just one little thing. So I do a little snippet of how my day was, like the major things that happened, just because every day feels very much the same when you work from home. So just gives me a little bit of insight on what I was doing on specific days. And in the sidebar, I've been tracking to TV that we've watched and books I'm reading. I do a theme as well in this section, but for the monthly pages only. So this page matches the theme for the next spread, which is my overview spread. And here, this again is in my shop. It's called the month overview. I've customized it for myself, mainly because I've been doing some social media additions here on this page. I added the title, the social stats. I also added in down here some like social stat tracking for the month that I just wanted to have. So this is not included. It's just, I think, a lined area, and there's no header here. It's just an empty month. But everything else is pretty much the same. So I've got habit trackers here as well. I track when I go or when I went outside. Again, you can see there's a lot of days I don't even leave the house. AM, PM skincare, that's been going fairly well. I've been trying to be more consistent on that. Audio or book time, which pretty much has been all audiobooks lately because I just do not have a lot of time to hand read books. But I've been getting through a lot of books through audiobooks. And then also I added in AM, PM personal care, which is kind of just like taking care of myself, getting myself ready for the day and tracking that. Also to here, we have the like a monthly task list. So anything that doesn't really need to be on a specific day or even a specific week, I've been dropping in here. And then if it doesn't even need to be done in a specific month, that's when I use my inbox. But this has been kind of nice for things that I want to get done fairly soon, but I don't have a specific time frame for them. So I've been dropping them here, and if it works out, great. If not, some of them I do move to the inbox, and then some of them I push forward to the next month. So that is my overview layout. And the next few spreads, my weeklies, are horizontal. This one was super fun. I did this really kind of sweeping leaves theme, and oh, it's so interesting. Sorry, I don't know if you guys are getting that light yet, but yeah, there's like some sunlight coming in from another window, so hopefully it doesn't stream across the page here. Anyway, so I've been using the horizontal layout for tracking my to-do list each day, along with any events, appointments, and things I need to focus in on every day. So this is how this one turned out. I really loved this one. It was really, again, surprise. I picked up these stickers from Amazon in a little die cut sticker pack, and it just really turned out super nice. So I was really happy to be in this one. And as you can see, I was really into fall spreads too. So there's a lot of fall going on as far as decor. This one was another one. I did this one, I think, off camera. I don't remember if I did this one as a plan with me, but basically I combined some Plan Anything stickers from, I think this was her newer like Cozy Autumn book, and then these stickers from like PET tape stickers that I had, and that turned out really nice. It's kind of focused them in on the corners and worked it. I really liked how this one turned out as well. Oh, and another good one. This one was really cool. These stickers in particular, I just love these like old book stickers that I got. I want to say these ones were from Easy Craft Art, I believe. I really wanted to use them for a while, and I wasn't sure how to really bring them in, but this turned out really good. I was still able to use it very functionally, and just really enjoyed the look and the feel of this spread a lot. Yeah, I think I was pretty much able to do most of the things on every day. A few of these days I didn't have a chance to fit in a focus area. Like I think Saturday and Monday I didn't really have a little call out area for those items I wanted to focus in on, but it didn't really bother me. I think for the most part I was able to use this pretty functionally. And then this last one was just kind of thrown together. I feel like this one was done off camera as well. I used some stickers from Plan Anything again and made a simple fall border, and then just used that as a color scheme and brought in the rest of the vibes. Oh, maybe I did do a plan with me on this. Now I don't remember. I tried to mix it up a little bit too by adding in a little bit of, what do you call that, block lettering. I don't know if I really liked that a lot. I think it had a lot to do with the pens that I was using. I was using highlighters with the chiseled tip, so I didn't really like the style of lettering that I could do with that, but I do like the idea, adding a little bit more color to the theme. So overall that turned out really nicely. And finally we've got my single page month, which is at the back. So since I've been using the month overview at the front for the memory a day, I converted this one into a single page month where I can track like the things that are going on for the month, events, appointments, little things like that. And I've also been trying to add in any fall bucket list type things as well. So that's worked out really nicely, and it's just the right amount of space. I think I felt like I was never filling in my monthlies fully before, so this has been a nice way to kind of have that information without taking up a full spread for it. I'm sorry, I keep coughing, you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and move out October. And we will put that in its separate planner. I'm really starting to try to think about 2024 already. I don't know how much planning you guys have done yet in your own lives for your 2024 planner, but this is the time of year where all that happens. So I've been brainstorming, thinking about what I want to change for next year, what I want to add, what I want to, kind of condense, that kind of stuff. So I'm curious to know if you guys have, any thoughts about your own planner setup, what you guys are thinking for 2024. One of the big things I'm thinking about is eliminating the horizontal planner layout. I'm pretty sure at this point that I'm going to, but I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to replace it with something else or, exactly how I'm going to do it just yet. So I'm really trying to figure that out. but curious to know if you guys are using a horizontal for next year, you know, or if you are thinking about another type of layout. You're condensing your stuff. Are you expanding your planner selection? Just, I'm curious to know what you guys are doing. So if you have the time, go ahead and leave that in the chat. Oh, I've got another question about my move. Oh, goodness. So I will quickly update you on that. So we were planning on moving at the end of summer to Texas from California. That has been put on hold for the time being, but I'm pretty sure it will be still happening, probably though not until the end of January, because we were going to do it at the end of this month, but a lot of things are going on right now. My husband just had a surgery back in late October. Also, too, the holidays are coming, so I just told him it would be better if we can wait, and so we're looking at the end of January at this point. I'm pretty sure it's still going to happen, but there's a chance it might not, which would be kind of nice, but we'll see. Moving is so stressful, you guys. I don't know how people do this. It's like moving out of state is so much different than just moving, you know, within your own city. So I'm not looking forward to all of the rigmarole, but that's where I'm at with the move. And then also to, yeah, I just need some time to really focus in on planning. This is the time of year where I just need to have time for planning, and so moving, I just don't want to deal with that on top of all of that. So if we can avoid it, that's the plan. Let's see, I see a few things. Oh, we got somebody going with a Happy Planner Big next year with a vertical layout. Okay, that's cool. We've got some, Hobonichi weeks for 2024. That's cool. I've looked at all of the influx of planners using Hobonichis, using the Common Planner. There's a few other options out there too, but those two are really popular brands right now. I would love to go and jump on that kind of like Japanese stationary bandwagon, but the bound system, that's always a limiting factor for me. I just love being able to take pages out and then put them back in and move things around, carry them from planner to planner instead of having to set it up each and every time. So that's the only thing that's kept me from actually exploring those options a little bit more. But I am excited to hear that you guys are doing the Hobonichi, that some of you guys who follow my channel do bound systems like that, because I think it definitely has a lot of potential as far as planning and can still be very creative. So that's cool. Okay, so that is the rest of my daily section. We have one more to go, so we'll just go ahead and jump forward to my last planner that we'll flip through, which is my hourly. Let's get things centered up again. So my hourly planner, I finally got the layout into my shop for 2024. I don't have 2023, but there is an undated version if you want to try it out these last few months and see if it's something for you. I have changed it from what it looks like in my planner so far. It's I've mentioned this in a couple of previous videos, but I went with lighter lines and just try to simplify it a little bit. So hopefully you guys like the style I went with for my shop, but I would love feedback if it's something that you're interested in. It's very much like the Hobonichi, I think it's the Hobonichi cousin actually, or yeah, Hobonichi cousin, that it looks a lot like. Also the Common Planner. It's a very grid system, which you're going to see. So if you're interested in those layouts but don't want to go away from a bound system, which was basically my issues, maybe this layout is for you. This planner itself is very functional for me, so there's not a lot of decor. The monthly I use for setting up my scheduling for social media, my content calendar, if you will. I put in my videos in the highlighted areas, and then the bullet points are Instagram posts. So I have that. I also try to jot down any theme ideas I have as the month goes through, and if I use them, I check them off. If not, and I can move them forward, I will. Next, we have the monthly goals pages. So this layout is another kind of like overview layout that's in my shop, a standalone. This is called the goals and tasks layout. This is based off of the Happy Planner hourly that I used in the beginning of the year. This one here, I think this was called Achieve Greatness. So it has a goals section here at the front, and then like an overview tasks area on the side. It was set up for 2 main goals, but that just really wasn't working for me. So I was always kind of altering the pages to do 4 goals. And since I was altering the pages, I just went ahead and created my own. So we've got 4 goals boxes here, but you could really use this spread for a lot of different things, not just goals and tasks, but this is how I've set it up. So at the top it says monthly goals, and here it does say, I think, weekly tasks. But again, you can always customize it for your own needs. I usually do a professional goal, a business goal, health goal, and then something else. So I've been doing a self-care goal for October. This went okay, but I will say that my professional goal basically got dropped about a week and a half in. I just didn't have the time. I'm not sure if I'll be able to pick that up before the end of the year, so I might just have to push that goal to 2024. This is the goal that has haunted me for years of finishing my portfolio, but it's really hard to fit it in around my schedule. Maybe I'm just not meant to have a portfolio, you guys. It's just not meant to be. I'm a graphic designer, but I am my toughest client, so I just am never happy with anything, and it makes it really hard for me to finish things for myself. That said, everything else went pretty good. I did get some new items in my shop, like I've mentioned. I didn't lose that much weight. Obviously, you guys saw my health planner, but I did do more lifting, so I did try to get that going. I wish I had done more walks with friends, but there was a lot of things like that kind of held me back. And then also the fall bucket list items. I did do a lot of bucket list items, which I was really happy with. Some more self-care, fun things to kind of take the stress off. I see another chat. Let's see, hello. Oh, what happened to the plannable challenges? They were fun. How do you choose themes for every week? So yeah, we used to do a plannable challenge up through, I think, the end of June. Me and Catherine over at Planogram on Instagram, we just got really busy. Her in particular, it was really hard for her to keep up, and it's just a lot to add on for oneself. I mean, I could have kept going by myself, but it was just a lot. It's much funner when you have somebody to work with and you can bounce ideas off of each other. So it was just time to kind of retire it. It had been 3 years we were doing that plannable challenge, which is crazy. But I like to look at like what's coming up, what kind of stickers I have in my stash, what holidays are coming up, what special days, anything that I want to call out, and I use that as a guide for myself to try to come up with those themes that you might have seen here on the side. Other ways to really like come up with themes, I've seen, I think it's the Enchanted Planner. She does a really good job of like looking up special days ahead of time and holidays, and then like picking out sticker books and things to coordinate with them, and then any sticker books that haven't been used, and if you have a good sticker stash and you just haven't touched a few older books or something, she'll try to bring those in and make plans out of those. So there's a lot of different ways you can approach how to make themes each week and kind of mix it up. But yeah, the Plannable Challenge. There are other planner challenges out there as well. So if you're on Instagram, just check out planner challenges. There is one in particular that I think it's A to Z. I cannot remember, planner something. But if you are following me on Instagram, just DM me or write in a comment in some video and I'll try to track it down for you. Okay, so back to what I was talking about here. So this is the goals and tasks. So I had the goal set up, and then basically what I do is I break down the goals into some major milestones for that goal for the month, and then I try to break it down even further into those tasks or transfer those tasks into each week so that I can make sure that I'm doing something each week to get to my goals. I also add in any major projects that I'm working on, or anything that's going to take a lot of time here as well, just so I have that all kind of in the mix and can see it visually. The next step for me is to take those tasks and then move it into my hourly schedule. So this is that layout I mentioned that I'm working on for my shop, or which is in my shop now, but it is a little bit different. So the lines are lighter and it's a little bit, I don't know, just a little cleaner, I think. But basically it is numbered hourly from 6 to 10. And then at the top there is some space. So if you have an earlier day, like if your day starts at 4, you have a space to actually write those in. And if it's later, then you're kind of, you either have to move it to the top or do something a little bit different here. But I can also customize things. So if there's something that you really like but isn't quite working for you, just hit me up and I can always make adjustments. Let's see. So I've been using mine for tasks at the top. So this is part of the reason why I've been rethinking my horizontal, because it's many of the same tasks that you saw there on the horizontal here at the top of these spreads. Also too, there is, just it's a bit redundant. So sometimes I forget to check this and sometimes I forget to check the horizontal. So yeah, and there's not always the exact same list too. So it's just, yeah, trying to figure out how best to work it has been a bit of a challenge. Other things I've been putting in here, obviously I have this little like video production schedule, which is very helpful for me. And then anything that's like a this week type of task item. But this one is a lot less functional for me as opposed to the one that I have in my horizontal. Oh, thank you for dropping in the A to Z planner themes link. I appreciate that, into the chat. Okay, so let's see. Other things, I track exactly what I do every day as far as how much time I'm spending on those things. That I use a system, which I can kind of show you. I have some new tabs. I had to redo them. They were getting a little bit messed up because I use them every week and they were like, I don't know, they're just getting a little bit beat up. So I just refreshed them. But basically this is how I pre-plan my week. And then what I do is I'll take it, and as the week progresses, as the day progresses, I will remove the tab and replace it with what I actually did. So this is the planned version, and then this is the actual, if that makes sense. I also use color coding, so I know that anything in black is kind of like my regular routine stuff. Green is like more downtime type stuff. Blue is more like work or goal-oriented stuff, and then red is active stuff. So anything that's out of the house or where I have to be getting up and moving and doing things that are, getting my blood going. So this was how the first week turned out. I did add a little bit of decor and a little bit of color, but overall it's, pretty functional. This is the second week, and again, it's going to be the same process, so they're going to look very similar from week to week. These stickers are from Planything, in case you were wondering, and I just use a mild liner. I think this one is in the olive tone. And the next week, I do lose track sometimes of what I'm doing, and like for example, here there's like an hour missing, so sometimes like I'll just be sitting drinking my coffee and not really wanting to do what I need to do, so sometimes I lose some time. That is why I actually started this planner, was because there was a little bit too much of that going on and I was just wasting hours scrolling through social media or sitting and, watching random YouTube videos on my TV or whatever. So this has really helped me put those hours to work. I don't do it all the time. I don't feel great all the time. So there's some times where I just try to pick the easiest thing I can do, which is why I pre-plan, but then fill in afterwards, because a lot of times a day does not go completely to plan. But it is really nice to see how long things take, how I'm using my time, and how I can gain time back. So I do really feel like this has been one of the biggest productivity tools that I've added to my planner system, this whole hourly goals planner. And then this is the last week of October. One thing I didn't note is that I do take those goal tasks and make sure that I try to schedule in time every week for those tasks to get those done. So that's how that really works together with the task section. I have it listed here, and then I say, okay, I need to do, say, for this one, I wanted to create an item for Etsy. So I knew that Wednesday would be the most open for that week, so I would drop in the scheduled time for it on that day, and then I would push it in hopefully that day as well and actually get it done. That's the end of my goals planner. Let's go ahead, or hourly goals. Let's go ahead and move it out. And, oops, move it into its home. This one was the Happy Planner all through the beginning of the year, so it has the tabs on most of them, but I basically removed all the pages and just saved the tabs for the last half of the year, now that I'm using my own inserts. So that's in there, and that is the last planner we'll be going through in this flip through. I'll also talk a little bit about my budget planner. Let's get back to that. So my 5th planner actually in this setup is my budget planner. I do have the links to the budget planner I'm using here, as well as I think there's a link to the video where I show my whole setup. I don't actually show it with my numbers, so I don't share this part of the planner system, but it's in there, and I've already moved October out. We're into November now, and it's all set up and ready to go. Lastly, at the back of my planner, I have a couple of other tabs. I have my reference section, which has these bottom tabs here at the bottom for long-term storage items that I may need to reference regularly. We've got my personal, business, social, and education tabs, and they're all designed with some vellum overlays and fall themes. This is all part of my fall refresh, so I do like to have my planner set up with like fall vibes. My vellum, it looks like, is not, some of this kind of like brushes off onto the edges, so I'm always cleaning the dividers, unfortunately. I don't know if that's just because I have a laser printer or if that is common with both inkjet and laser, but that is a little bit annoying. And finally, we have my note section at the very back, which I think I've used all the note paper because I was so packed back here with stuff. Yeah, so I need to add in some new note paper. And then I have a pocket folder that I made, and then the back cover, which is actually the start of my holiday planner. So I'll just quickly show you a little bit about my holiday planner as well. So I recently set up a holiday section in my Frankenplanner, and I decided to do a transformer planner for this section, which has been really fun, although it was really full there while I had those other months in together, but now it's feeling a little bit more manageable. So the way that I did this, I added in its own cover for like the holiday section, and as you can see, when you do a transformer planner, it has like a front and back for that cover. And the way you do that is you just back it up. If this is something you're interested in, if you have some covers you want to add, you just put them in to the slot right here, like you butterfly it. Okay, so you have the front and the back right in here, and you slide it in between where the back cover would be for the previous planner, if that makes sense. I do show you how I did this in the holiday planner setup if you want to know a little bit more about that, as well as the whole setup in here. But yeah, so I have this, and so when I want to get into my holiday planner, I can just look at it as its own planner with the cover and everything. It's kind of fun, kind of gets you in the holiday mood. Then we go into my holiday planner setup, which again, I'm not going to go into full detail, but this is available in my shop if you want to also start a holiday planner of your own. I've got some pages at the front, but I've added in this one tab here so that I can jump to the monthly overview page, which is really nice. I still have a few things I need to add in, I think, but it is nice to check this part as well as the other top tabs all throughout the, like every day, and just make sure I'm not missing anything that I need to be doing. But this is basically a very holiday focused planner. So it's basically going to be things about the holidays in general. Just saw something pop into the chat. Let's see. I just have to ask, does your husband have a similar personality to you? My wife laughs and understands as I go through, or as I go into planning, as I go into planning vortex, type A meets free spirit. Oh, that's cute. My husband, yes, is very different from me. I'm the creative, he's the accountant. We have very different personalities. It's very project oriented, very focused. Yeah, he doesn't, I mean, he understands that I love this, but yeah, I would never see him doing anything like this. Like even, he's really not even a planner at heart. He like goes from project to project. He doesn't multitask like, I don't know, like I do. So that's always fun to maneuver around, but we work well together in general. In general, I would say. So yeah, so he's different from me. I guess that always kind of helps to have somebody as your partner who has a different perspective, right? So yeah, so I have, I also talk about like doing a lot of things, but I end up doing a lot of things like with my friends because he's just not into a lot of the fun, creative things. He's just like, you know, we've been married for, like almost 25 years, so he's over it. He's just like, go have fun with your friends. So a lot of times I do like all this holiday stuff with them, and you know, he just kind of does his own thing, and then we spend time together, you know, just at home. So yeah, it's fun. Marriage. Anywho, yeah, so I have the planner pages in here, the dated pages set up. I have a few more things, like I said, and I did start setting up some of the pages in here. I still have a bit more to do. I really want to get into, you know, planning this out a little bit more fully. Got a few things already set up. So yeah, it's a really nice little section. Again, if you want to really see this fully, do check out my holiday planner section video, and I can go into all the deets. But I did put my pen there on the back so that I could do, again, another transformer planner. So now this is back to the fall setup. I'll be doing a you know, holiday refresh fairly soon, probably just before Thanksgiving week, so that it's all set up and ready to go for the holidays. But for now, I'm working it as is, and I really like having both planners in there kind of separated but together so that nothing gets missed. Okay, you guys, so that's pretty much it about my October flip through. If you guys have any questions that I didn't answer, please feel free to drop those still into the chat. I know it's getting kind of dark. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do for December. Let me know if you guys also too can do an earlier time. I would love to know in the comments if you could do it like at 2 instead of 3, like an hour earlier. That would be great to know. I know now that we had some international people jump on, that might not be that doable, but it is nice to know what you guys' availability is versus the light that's kind of coming in. I could also set up a fake light, but I do like to do natural light because it looks the best usually on camera. And okay, I'm totally out of breath, you guys. Oh, this asthma. Anyway, I'm really glad you guys could join me today. Thank you for hopping on. Hopefully your Sundays have been good. I know this time change is a little different, so yeah, it's a little bit, I don't know, just I'm a little out of sorts today as far as the time frame when I was eating, all that good stuff, so I'm sure you guys are having a similar reaction if you're here in the United States. But overall, this was fun. Yeah, I really would like to know what you guys are doing for your planners for 2024. If you have any thoughts, what you might like to see for 2024 too. I also want to put this out here before we wrap up. If there's anything you guys want to see before the end of the year, I'm trying to figure out my content schedule for November and December. And I'm planning to do kind of like a planning week between Christmas and New Year's, if that all works out. But I'm curious to see if you guys want to know over the next few weeks more about like holiday pages, like if you want to get more into the holiday planner, inserts, like decorating pages, that kind of thing. If you guys want to do or see more like shopping or haul type videos where I'm showcasing things for gifts or shopping for yourself for 2024. Or even just like brainstorming sessions, obviously lineup videos, but if you want to be a little bit more involved in the process of me figuring out what I'm going to be doing for 2024, I could definitely do more kind of brainstorming sessions and working things out kind of sessions if that might be useful to you. So I would love to know anytime or if any of those things are interesting to you as far as videos, please do drop those in the chat or in the comments below if those are something that you might want to see or what direction you would like to see more of. Other than that, I think that's it. Thank you guys again for joining me. I'll go ahead and wrap this up. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Bye!